So this is a significant piece of land that has been transformed over time, throughout history, from an airfield to a racetrack into what is now becoming an important mixed-use community. The particular piece we're looking at is the commercial piece of this. It is directly adjacent to a new Caltrain station, serving the occupants of this place, and it addresses a very challenging aspect of our transformation of the suburbs, which is densification, inserting large footprint buildings into a context that has been much lower scale, and doing so in a way that creates variegation, life, and social animation. These large footprint office buildings are very challenging to incorporate into a low-scale environment such as this. It brings a new life to this place, uses our transportation infrastructure in a very powerful way. So it's we think it's a very, very good example of inserting a large footprint, large-scale architecture into a low-scaled community environment.
Hello, I'm Paul Woolford. I'm the project designer. I couldn't be more happy to be here, and I really wanted to thank the chapter, Wilson Meany Development, and the community of San Mateo. It was a real privilege. The design concept was really born from Chris Meany's vision for the Bay Meadows Village. What he wanted to do was take an abandoned racetrack and turn it into a real model of new urban living, sustainability, a place where people could live, work, enjoy themselves, and recreate. The way in which the design process was organized is we built a model together about the size of this room. So it was about 15 by 25 feet long at scale. And every design team, every time we would meet, would bring in different study models and array them out. So the 65 acres of site was constantly changing and evolving as the design progressed. For me, perhaps the lesson learned was also one of my favorite aspects of having worked on the project. And that was what I'm gonna call co-opetition, the collaboration amongst the many different design professionals and firms involved. Because we worked in this environment together from day one, we were able to create something that really the sum is far greater than the number of parts involved. So the project responds to its community and context by not seeing itself as an island inside of San Mateo, but really seeing itself as an extension of the beautiful village character and scale. One of the things that the planners wanted to do from day one was make sure that the heights felt appropriate to the surrounding neighborhood. And so all of the development is really scaled to feel harmonious with San Mateo as it is today. I think the Bay Meadows Village was prescient in looking at how to create a diverse and inclusive place. From the inception of its design concept, it was designed to be something that really mixed in with the community and in which the community was invited in to the very grounds and right to the front door of these developments for places where they could play bocce, they could have their children there, they could enjoy themselves, they could have a beer with friends and a taco, they could play ping pong. Anything or anyone in the neighborhood could feel just as at home sitting right next to these buildings full of technology tenants as the people inside the buildings themselves. Real sustainability isn't something that's actually added on after a building's designed. True sustainability is designed from its inception. And from the conceptual beginnings of the Bay Meadows Village, we looked at it through the lens of how to create the most high-performing and thoughtful and healthy workplace one could imagine for the people who'd be inhabiting it. There were several key things we did. One of them was looking for an environment in which no one is more than about 35 feet or 40 feet from a window. We looked for it so that wherever you are in the building, you actually had the ability to temper and modulate the environment you're in. We worked hand in glove with interface engineering and with the Wilson Meany team to look at a building that every single attribute all added up to something more. So that allowed the building to become LEED Gold, with the opportunity to reach a platinum level depending upon the added layer of renewables. I actually am really excited about the material palette for the project. What we did is we actually used a kind of kit of parts approach. Board form concrete, rain screen terracotta skin walls, and 3 sizes of window. And we combined them in slightly different ways for every building and every wing, slightly adjusting the terracotta so that if you look at the block, what we were able to achieve was extraordinary economy of purchase and a visual delight because it feels harmonious but unique, and it changes and adapts as it moves along the block. You know, as architects, we spend all of this time thinking of the building and its creation and process, and we spend all of this energy getting it built. But one of my favorite things to do in a project is to actually go and be there and not tell anyone that I was the designer, and be with them, watching them inhabit it. And because the way the village is organized, you know, it's full of children, it's full of people playing bocce, people having a beer and eating a taco, coming to and from work. For me, just being in that mosh pit of human life and watching the village just thrive is just so tremendously exciting.